2-1. This is Soundwave Radio here on andrewhogue.com, Australia's only 24/7 rock metal radio station. Have the privilege and pleasure of chatting with Skinny from Mushroomhead, of course, as part of the Soundwave 2014 entourage. Welcome to andrewhogue.com on Soundwave Radio. How you doing?
I'm doing fucking great today, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
And again, I always have to get the generic questions out the way. How has your run been and your experience on Soundwave? I guess from the perspective of the fans enjoying what you're doing and, yourself?
Honestly, I couldn't be happier, man. It's our first time ever over here. We had to cut down on some of our production on our normal style show. Going on at 11:30 every day was a little intimidating being overseas a month ago looking at it on paper. However, you get here, you remember why you're in a band and why you do it, and the point is to get out there and rock, have a great time, and get that crowd going. And I feel we're doing our job. The crowd's feeding us the energy right back, and man, the shows are getting more fun every time I do it, man. I don't want to go home.
Now, of course, the band has been around for many, many years. What do you think is the sort of key to your longevity of...
It's just odorous, breaking chairs. Attaboy, Jamie!
What do you think the key is to your successful longevity as a band, considering how much scenes come and go? They seem to have a lifespan today of 3 years as opposed to 6 or 7 like they used to.
This year is, October was 20, right on the money, so this is our 20th year from doing, shows and touring. Our 7th album comes out in May, so we've been doing this a long time, but what I got to say about the longevity is just believing in yourself, not paying attention to what the other bands are doing. Do your own thing. If you're an artist, man, just do your art. Don't worry about everyone else, Time, shit comes in waves, and if you're really worried about selling records versus making art, you might have a problem. You might want to rethink that one,
Well, that is a good point, because we certainly know it's generally a very common topic of discussion with all artists, especially on this station, about where, they think things are going as far as music, the business itself. It seems to be falling back. Well, the opportunity is more back on the bands now than ever before, and it's time for bands, I think, to get a bit more business savvy and creative, as opposed to, I noticed a lot of reaction from certain bands that aren't willing to put in the effort of running their own business because everything else is falling around them, so they say, and they're sort of thinking, who's going to come and pick up the pieces, when really it's up to yourselves. I mean,
they're your pieces,
Exactly.
They're your pieces, and you're supposed to put them together. A lot of bands have the misconception of, oh, hey, man, I just got signed. I made it. No, when you get signed, now is the time to start getting the fuck to work. Now is the time to prove yourself. You have someone else that wants to back you and really push it to the next level. So, you got to stick with it. We were fortunate enough years ago to be on Universal. Like, we trudged along for about 8 or 9 years. We got picked up by Universal Records. They put some money behind us, believed in us, put out 2 records. And then, that was like 2001, 2002, 2003. And, the industry was changing drastically back then. We fulfilled our contract with them. They didn't reissue a new contract, so we were on our own for a little bit. Megaforce Records came along, not there shortly after, and kind of said, hey, man, we believe in you guys, and we would love to have you on our thing. And it's taken a little bit to get it back to, what we wanted it to be originally, but right now, I can't say enough about my crew, my live crew, and my studio crew, and my actual live band. It feels like 1996 all over again, man. It feels good, I'm excited to be here. I'm honored to be here, and I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. And after 21 years, that feeling hasn't been here in a while, so, I'm happy. When
did the shift kick into gear for you? Like, again, we can all sort of... it's all just how we perceive things and the way we view things, good or bad. When did it sort of go, wow, I've been doing this 20 years, I'm going to start to enjoy it a bit more, or how did you get in the gap of...
I tell you, it fell into place. The new album, I've been saying it a lot, the thing damn near wrote itself, and that's when the momentum started picking up and working. We brought J Mann back, our original singer. He had left, 10 years ago. We replaced him with Waylon. And Jay was going to just be a guest on the record, and we just kept working and working and working, and I'm like, fuck, why don't you just come do this album cycle with us and get back in the van for us? So we got all 3 singers, and I have to say, writing the album really was the catalyst for this feeling and where we're at right now. The band's high on life again, man, and we're feeling good. We just want to rock. We just want to get out there and share it with the world.
Tell us a bit about, as you said, the album wrote itself. What can fans sort of expect from the new album? You said it's out in May.
Yep. It comes out, I believe it's May 13th. The album is titled The Righteous and the Butterfly, and it encompasses the last 20 years. Say if you took the last 6 albums, threw them in a blender, kicked it out.
Yep.
Because it has a lot of old school flavor to it. We have 2 new guys, Dr. F on bass and Tommy Church on guitar, and they brought a new element to the table that is just young and fresh, yet they understood what I was doing for the last 20 years. So the old school they knew how to write for the project itself.
Yeah.
And it literally was, every now and again we'd suggest something, but the chords just came. It was like, I'd leave for an hour. Where'd that come from? I don't know, man. I just played. I'm like, keep it, do it again, more of that. It was like very traditional shroom sounds with a modern twist. It was cool.
Well, we can get you to choose your favorite track from any of the Mushroomhead records. Obviously, we don't have the new record just yet. To conclude our chat here on Soundwave Radio, go for it.
What's that?
We can get you to choose one of your favorite tracks off any of the Mushroomhead albums we have in our library, and a couple last words to the fans out there.
I'll tell you what, one of my favorite tracks, we're not playing it on this run. It's I believe it's track 1 on Save Your Sorrow. It's titled 1200. It is a brutal monster, man, and I can't wait to play it live the next time we come back here.
Awesome. Let's check it out now. Thanks for your time, buddy.